Hello everybody. Today we're at Awakon Park in Onaway, Michigan. It's the ruins of the American Wood Rim Company and a sculpture park. And Hatchi has never been here. We have older videos on our channel, but Hatchi has never been here. So this is all the information about everything here if you would like to pause it and read it. And then on the other side is a full map of everything. So as we head down the trail, the first thing you can see coming up is that train, which you can go inside of. Don has Hatchi because she likes to pull and pull and pull, and I can't get very steady footage like that. Right, Hatchi? All of these sculptures were made by Tom Moran at Moran Iron Works with the help of his welding school, Industrial Arts Institute. This one was unveiled in the 4th of July parade in 2016, I think it was. Yes, 2016. And it's supposed to be a replica of the trains for the steering wheel factory. But it's really cool. It used to have a bell that worked, but they took it off because people can be annoying. And you can go up inside. It's quite a step, so they put this here. Yeah. You want to come up here? Okay. Yep, she didn't have any trouble. Yep, train. She's like, what's a train? Yep, pretty cool in here. This is the door that belongs on there. A few years ago, somebody decided to try to live in there, and the police had to take them out, and they had to weld that over the opening, and now they just laid the door on the floor. Bizarre happenings, I'll tell you. But yeah, cool view out the window. There's Don peeking around the corner. Hatchi likes the train. And now we'll continue on to the next one. It's a nice, cool summer evening. We waited until later to come out here because it was hot earlier. So this one is Gerald Ford's head. A lot of people think it's creepy, and it kind of is, but it's still cool. Yep, blue eyes. This one is from 2012, but yeah, pretty cool. A lot of people say they have nightmares after coming to this park, but we don't. We can appreciate art. Right, Don?
Yeah.
And now we're gonna head to the next one, which you can see peeking through the trees over there. And absolutely everything in this park is made by Tom Moran and his students. It's called Awakon Park because it's sponsored by the Awakon Credit Union. Yep, Hatchi, it's a bench. They made the benches and they made the garbage cans. This one is called Miss Liberty, and they just repainted it fresh last year, so it's all green again. And it's from 2008, but it's pretty cool. It used to be down by the subway. Well, we don't have subway anymore, it went out of business, but that's where it used to be. Now it's in here. And next we have Abraham Lincoln from 2009, and this one is pretty nice. A lot of pretty colors, but it should be repainted. Used to be a lot brighter, but it's pretty cool. So this is the bridge to Chandler Park, which we're gonna go over there for a minute. This was also made by Tom Moran and his students at the welding school, and it's pretty cool. Heading across. There is water here, but it's all cattails right now. It's crazy. Yep. Cattails. But the park's pretty nice inside. As you can see, there's a pavilion up there. And if you've watched any of our car show videos from the Onaway Car Show, not the Onaway Speedway Car Show, but the Onaway Car Show, this is where it happens. Except right now there are no cars in here. So this is a really nice shady place to sit. And we're really lucky that the ice storm didn't take all these trees out, because they took out plenty of others. So here's the fire pit. Normally it's filled with garbage. Only a little bit now, but anybody can use it who wants to. Somebody put picnic tables up here. It's a nice place to sit and take a rest. And then down way over there, right there, is a water fountain. They used to have porta-johns, but now they don't, so I guess you don't get to go to the bathroom anymore.
Well, they got rid of the buildings that you set up and through here.
Yeah, but they had porta-johns there.
Oh, they got rid of those a while back.
And then over there is the playground. So Chandler Park and Awakon Park are two separate parks, but they are connected by that bridge. So there's easy access from one to the other. Okay, time to head back across the bridge and back over to Awakon Park and finish it out. Okay, we're back on the trail again. Right over there is a sculpture, and we'll get there in a second. So this one is called Free Fall by artist Ann Gildner from 2015, and she was one of the students of the Industrial Arts Institute welding school. It's pretty cool. It's like people falling out of the sky, made with a lot of little tiny things. Yeah, it's like bolts, not bolts, nuts, washers, things like that. It's pretty nice. Now here, across from that sculpture is where the historical ruins start of the Lobdell Emery steering wheel factory, which burned up in a massive fire in the early 1900s. They cleaned it all up, marked it. They're not done yet. As you can see over there, there's more stuff that's not cleaned out, but eventually they'll have it all cleaned out. So this is the hot pond. It says the hot pond could hold a full flat car of logs, and it was heated by steam delivered in pipes below the water surface. The heated water helped to loosen the embedded dirt and wet the logs, which made it easier for sawing. And you can read on if you'd like. Pause and read on. It's kind of hard to see in there because they haven't cleared it out. Maybe they can't. It's pretty swampy because it used to be a big pond, but there are some ruins back in there. So there's a bunny right there, and Hatchi wants it. Run, bunny, run! And there are these. Not exactly sure what they were, but they were definitely part of it. Quite a few of them all over the place here. These used to be buildings, but after the fire, this is all that's left, cement. And for decades, this was all grown in and nobody even knew it was there. I grew up in this town and I didn't know anything about any of this in here because they didn't tell us in school. So this was the sawmill and sawdust kiln. And if you want to read that, pause it, you can go ahead. So here's a little side trail you can go down. The foundry and machine shop. You know the drill, pause it if you want to, read it all. But it heads into the woods there. Over here we have a foundation. Can't really go in there, it's grown in so bad. This was obviously a floor. And then over there is another building. And right next to this building, they kind of cleared out an area so you can get back over to the train. But we're not gonna go that way right now. And here's inside the building. It's grown up a lot since I last made a video in here. So it's kind of hard to see. I don't really want to go inside there. There could be snakes, danger noodles. So I'll just stay out here. So as for this, I don't know what it is. And in the very first video I filmed here in 2015, there was a cone-shaped metal roof on top that they have since removed. I have looked on that map over and over and I can't identify this specifically, but it's pretty cool. We're not bringing Hatchi in here because normally there are broken beer bottles. Not right now, but still. Big crack, but whatever it was, it's pretty cool. And then there are all these ruins next to it. They're not labeled either. Yeah, there's a sign over there, but it doesn't say what any of this right here is. Maybe someday they'll label it. Yeah, this sign just talks about wooden bicycle rim production. So if you'd like to pause it and read it, you can. Hopefully you can see through the mosquito, which they're starting to get bad. And this is the back of the Industrial Arts Institute. It used to be Brubaker's Furniture when I was a kid, but that was a long time ago. So this is humongous. It says Onaway steers the world, which used to be the motto of the town before they lost the steering wheel factory. Don and Hatchi will walk up to it to show you just how big it is. I don't know exactly how big it is, but it's a lot of feet tall. Yep. It's pretty cool. Everything's pretty cool. I need to get a new vocabulary. It's awesome. Look how big it is. It's absolutely awesome and amazing. Wow. Right?
Yeah.
This is from 2014 by Tom Moran. World's largest steering wheel. I don't deny it. Very tall. And that foundation over there, in the first video I made here in 2015, if you want to go back to it, it was still there. For some reason they tore it down, and that's all there is now, but it was part of the whole thing too. And then this little building is the Lobdell waterworks system. You can pause it if you want to. It wasn't always blocked off. There's a well in there. Last year I noticed it was blocked off. It looks like somebody tried to get in there anyway. Bent it all out. But people shouldn't go in there, because there's a deep well right there. And over there on that piece of cement, there used to be a really cool sculpture made by Tom Moran of some kind of a monster fighting a dragon. I'll insert a picture here. But I noticed last year it disappeared, and now there's just a piece of cement. But I think the piece of cement is part of the ruins. And there are a couple more buildings here. That one is always filled with water. But people crawl in there anyway because there was graffiti last year way up at the top, which proved they had to like go swimming through the water to get to it. People are weird. But there's a pond over there, some more foundations and blocks, whatever they are. And then this one over here, and that's ice storm damage that hasn't been cleaned up yet. This is all full of ice storm damage, so you can't really go in there anymore, but I've been in there before. And this sign talks about the dynamo wheel. A massive 12-foot dynamo wheel produced electricity for the entire Lobdell factory complex. The large pit can still be identified where the vast dynamo wheel made its first revolutions on April 14th, 1901. And then you can read on if you'd like. But there's like this long area here that's empty. It would be really cool if it was still here. Apparently it was in here going around and around way up in the air, but it's gone now. And then there's this building. They don't specifically say what this was, but it's always flooded, always. So I'm not crazy enough to try to go in there. But somebody was, because you can see the graffiti all the way over there. So that means they had to have crawled through all that slop. Good for them. Have at it. I'm not doing it. That's another room that you can't get into. But yeah, it's always, always wet. And nature is taking back over on the inside. But it's still really interesting to see. So we're heading out now. Around the curve is where the car is parked. But we're not done yet. We have some more of Tom Moran's sculptures around town to show you. Yep, there we go. There's our car. Back at the beginning. It's a short walk, but it's an interesting walk. And you can ride bikes in here too. They just don't want you driving your car along this trail. Just outside the gate here, by the sign, amongst all these apple trees, which do get good apples that you can eat, they put a couple of pieces of antique farm equipment for you to look at. So this is the gate coming in. I mean, there are 3 entrances to this. The main entrance, Chandler Park, and over there by the steering wheel. 3 different ways to get in here, but this is the main entrance. And yes, you guessed it, this was also made by Tom Moran. And then over there is another one of his sculptures. So this is Merit Chandler, made by Tom Moran in 2020. He was the founder of Onaway. It was made in 2020, but not unveiled in the 4th of July parade because of you know what. There was no 4th of July parade in 2020. This is the most detailed head he's ever made, with pretty nice eyes. Not dead eyes like some of them, like the one that we're gonna show you at the end of the video. Pretty detailed. I like it. And huge. Definitely huge. And this is another one of Tom Moran's sculptures. It marks the entrance to the park besides that gate. And on windy days, which is not today, every little piece blows in the wind and moves. So it looks pretty cool on windy days, and it's really huge too. And then as you can see over there is a car, a race car on the sign. That's for the car wash. That has nothing to do with Tom Moran, but it's still pretty cool to see a car up on up high like that. So this is the Industrial Arts Institute building, the welding school. It used to be Brubaker's Furniture, and then, as you can tell by the facade, Art Van Furniture bought it, and once they went out of business, then it became this. And out front here is this big Iron Man sculpture that they made a few years ago. No sign for it, I don't remember, but it's pretty nice too. If you like comic books and Iron Man. And there are some sculptures inside that you can see too. There's a big dragon in there, but I don't think I can see it. There's another something or other. Yeah, lots of different artwork in there, but the windows are so dark. Yeah, they made it so you can't see through the windows with this black stuff. Oh well. You can see through a little bit here. There's the dragon, but that's as close as I'm gonna get without actually going in there, and they're not open. So this is brand new. It was just unveiled in the 4th of July parade, which that's the last video on this channel if you want to go see it be unveiled. They just got it up on these pieces of cement yesterday, I think. This is its final home. It was made in a combination of Tom Moran and his students, and then this mural here, which stands for Michigan, that would probably be Lake Huron or Lake Michigan, was made by Krista Allerding, I think. And then over on this side, you can see all the names of the people, the students who worked on it. And then on this side, this mural stands for Onaway. It has a lot of Onaway things on it. It says Onaway is key. You can see the old Lobdell Emery steering wheel office in the keyhole, which we're gonna go see next. It was done by Melissa McCavitt. She's my age, I went to school with her. These murals are really beautiful. And I hope nobody vandalizes them. Maybe that's why they have this up so high. Might not be so easy to spray paint, which is something people like to do around here for some reason. And then on this side, there are more names. I don't know if you can read them or not. It says, don't climb on it. Boy, I hope people wouldn't. But yeah, it's beautiful. And I hope nobody ever does anything to it. And this tree is on the same corner as the murals. The murals are right behind me. And it was made by Tom Moran or his welding students, probably his welding students, because you can see names and initials and stuff up in the leaves. It's been here for a few years, but I really like it. It's too bad there aren't any more. They could put them on like every corner, but they only made one. But it's pretty nice. I like it. So this used to be the office building for the Lobdell Emery steering wheel factory, and I have never filmed this before. We cannot go inside, but we can look around a little bit. The Onaway Area Historical Museum has been trying for years and years and years to raise up enough money to restore this, but they haven't been able to yet. And it used to be a Masonic temple when I was a little kid. And as you can tell by this sign that nobody ever took down, they had a haunted house here at one point, but they don't do that anymore either. But yeah, try walking around, hope the police don't show up. That's why I haven't filmed it, because I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, it really needs work, lots of work. But it's cool that it's still here. It's the only thing left standing. I guess I can't walk all the way around. It looks pretty full of ticks back there. But I'll come as far as I can. Oh yeah, I've never seen the back before. Definitely needs work. But it's pretty interesting. What is that, an old exercise bike? That's where that's sitting there. But yeah, it's pretty. I hope they can restore it sometime. Save it. Okay, now we're back out front. I've seen photos from the inside. It's cool in there, but we can't go in. But as you can see, if you want to help them out, there's their Facebook and their PayPal, and another code where you can make donations right there, that QR code. Hopefully it can get saved. I'm not going on the porch, might fall through, and I don't belong there anyway. And then around the other side here, which they just unveiled that. They just cleaned that up and unveiled that last year. That is the chimney from a cabin that used to sit next to this, that had something to do with the whole thing too. And that's all that's left of that. But yeah, it's really cool. I've never filmed it, so I thought maybe I better for once. And the last thing we have to show you in this video is the first head that Tom Moran ever made. The sign seems to be gone, but it was made in the 90s, and it's George Washington. People joke that he has dead eyes, but you saw by that last head, he has definitely improved the eyes. It sits out here in the field off M68. It's okay to come and look at it, but you have to park on the road, we just found out. But yeah, lots of details. These are the Tom Moran sculptures that are in Onaway. There are many more all over Michigan and maybe even other states. But this is what's here. So it's pretty cool. What do you think, Hatchi? She's like, I don't care. I don't know what that is. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're finishing up this video just in time. Sun's going down. That's Moran Iron Works on the other side of the trees. So that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you ever come to Onaway, Michigan, check these things out. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for subscribing, and we'll see you next time.